Okay, I'm checking, but I don't see no stream yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. All right, I try to make it just long enough to check the stream, and sometimes it isn't long enough. Anyway, welcome back. June, my friend, and other people, one or two of you. Hope you're doing great. This show today is the 15th of November, 2025. Happy birthday, Campbell, if you were still here. And what I'm going to do is I want to talk about a couple of things that are in the news topics tonight. Just popular stuff like Nick Fuentes. I'm going to go into what he's saying. I just listened to a half hour of him or so. But first, let me just show you this from last week. This is, again, a really cool impact view of the CME from last week. Look at it light up these freaking detectors. Oh, we got a little bit of radiation. Holy shit. I mean, kablamo. Now, somebody I was watching said, watch out for the next sun cycle. Not this one, but 11 years from now, basically, is going to be, apparently, in his opinion, the next one. Mostly because what we've seen recently is a shifting of the geomagnetic pole. And, you know, with the kind of shifts that have been going on, I've always wondered if it could leave a hole vulnerable where the electromagnetic radiation could just carve out a swath through the biosphere. And I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, when you think about the shift, I mean, it could be instantaneous or very quickly. I'm talking about the pole shift that we know about. And I don't think they're specifically coordinated with extinction events, but something to think about, something to watch out for. Anyway, more on shit we can control here. All right, this is Fuentes. I don't know if you know who Fuentes is. I just barely know who he is. I've just come recently to discover who he was since the whole Charlie Cook assassination, because I thought they were kind of the same people, or I didn't know, in the same vein or whatever. But Fuentes, I'm just going to tell you, give a little introduction here. I've listened to about a half hour of shit, so I can't really speak authoritatively about who he is and what he knows or what he says. But he seems to be a guy who is America first. And specifically, he has a big chip on his shoulder about the Jews. He believes, and maybe rightly, I don't know, that he was shadow banned or squashed by some Jewish interests. And I guess for him, that means they're all bad or something. And I don't know, maybe it was official state actors. Who knows? I don't know. But he definitely has a chip on his shoulder, and he is knives out for them. Now, he's also knives out for anybody who's anti-white, basically. He's defending, you know, we, the white guys, should have been defended all along. I mean, of course, you know, we weren't really feeling threatened. At least I wasn't. And I think that's where most of us felt, was just, look, you know, whatever. I mean, you know, we're all about equality at the end of the day in America. And that's what it needs to remain. And whatever Fuentes' ideas are, they've got to be equality related. We really don't want a striation of people in this country. And we've absorbed immigrants for a long time. It's not a problem. We know how to do it. And we have a system that works well doing it. But Nick's going to point out that there are some problems here. And I want you to just see what he says, what problems he brings your attention to.
It's the most evil shit imaginable. You're covering up a child sex trafficking ring because you're implicated in it. And the consequence of this is you have to give Israel missiles to murder children by the millions and drag your own country into another war, the very kind of war that you ran to stop.
Damn. I mean, you see what I'm saying? He is all about Israel. All right. Check out this next clip.
All of it. And people are so disgusted and furious, and they're just, I'm telling you, the people of the country are furious. You think I'm angry? I'm at least a little cheerful. The people of this country are furious. They are beside themselves.
Now,
How much longer and how much more of this do you think people will tolerate? How much more of it do you think people will take?
Why?
How many more weird school shootings and weird assassination attempts, sex trafficking rings, wars? How much more of this do you think people will take? How many more dead Charlie Kirks, weird stuff going on around that? How much more of that do you think people can take before they're ready to vote for something really radical?
Now
something destabilizing.
This is true what he points out.
That's where this is all going. All of it. You know, we want a fucking country. We don't want to be invaded by 10 million illegals in 4 years. We don't want to go to war with Iran over fake nuclear weapons. We don't want a government that's apparently in bed with child sex traffickers. Is it too much to ask? Are those unreasonable demands? Am I a Nazi?
No, it doesn't sound like, not from that anyway. But you can see. All right, there's one last one. Last one here.
We elected Trump as a repudiation of the legacy of all these presidents. He's all of them rolled into one. He's a warmonger like Bush. He's a sex criminal like Bill Clinton. He's demented like Joe Biden.
We elected him to
repudiate these.
And instead, he seems to be protecting it. Now, look, I'm going to give Nick his props here for having done some things and brought our attention to some issues. But I'm going to suggest that he's way off base. That the problems that the country is experiencing, and really the root of all the problems, is not school shootings. That's a symptom. The assassination attempts, again, symptom. The wars, even the wars. The cause is the money. Look what they did this week. Okay, you may recognize this. Oops. As the first coin minted by the United States. And this is called the Franklin cent. He might have designed it, and this might be his motto, mind your business. But in any event, what they did is they retired the penny. And you want to know why? It's because they've been stealing the money, okay? They've been stealing the money now for so long that people don't even know what the hell is going on at this point, okay? And, you know, Fuentes, he wants to bring up these, what I'm going to call peripheral incidents. He's talking about the pedo ring. You don't know what's going on there, okay? I've looked into that in great detail, and it very well could be. Look, think about it this way. If Epstein were blackmailing people, you wouldn't blackmail like everybody, like a whole bunch of people, because then they'd all team up on you and fucking kill you. I mean, obviously, maybe that's what they did. Somebody definitely killed him. They definitely murdered him. But you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't even try to do that. You would pick some powerful people, and you would have a limited clientele for your extortion, for your blackmail activities. And so it very well may not be a huge pedo ring. It could be one guy, a couple of guys, a handful of guys. It was definitely somebody, though. They whacked that motherfucker. They killed him. And there's definitely shenanigans going on there, okay? And the assassination attempt on Trump, again, the telltale phrase from that assassination attempt is when the FBI director, woman, said that they didn't put people on that roof because of the slope, because of the pitch of the slope. Now, you know, and I know, the other officers were on an even more pitched slope right there, and that particular angle was the killer shot. That was the one that any sniper would want to take. It definitely seems like shenanigans, but Trump's in charge now, and he's going after the other alleged deep state actors. I don't know how Clinton's involved in all this. I just saw he's going after Bill now. I mean, Bill is definitely involved in the Epstein thing. Okay, if anybody's involved in Epstein, it's Bill Clinton. Okay, that's my thought. Like number one client, he would be your guy. Trump may be in there, but this latest thing that was apparently said by Virginia Giuffre, who's testimony's been widely discredited. She was the one who accused Dershowitz, and then she suicided, or somebody offed her too. But either way, she's not credible. And even if so, I'm pretty sure in her book, or at least that's the allegation, is that she said that Trump wasn't involved. Doesn't mean he wasn't involved. Could have been somebody else. Could have been something else. We know he was a girl thing. When you look at the pictures from that Gatsby party that he just had, that makes you think Trump is involved. I mean, girls in champagne glasses and shit. I just deleted the photograph here, but I mean, come on. That's suspicious looking. But even so, my point is, these are the distractions. This isn't the game. The game is the cash. Follow the money. Always stay with the money. Even the wars are fought for the money. Most likely. There is a strategic element involved. Some ways, like I talked about Millet getting the $40 billion last week and, as socialism. And it is, but there could be some strategic value in that as well because of South America and the Chinese involvement in Africa and stuff like that. But in any event, the point is, if you follow the money, that's where the real source of all of the disgruntlement in the society and people's inability to get mortgages and everything. The whole thing is symptomatic of there's really two problems. There's really two problems that nobody wants to talk about, apparently. And especially, we talk about Trump, and I know a lot of people did think Trump was going to be the guy like Nick. I hope you could hear what Nick said there. He said, we elected Trump to disrupt the swamp, to drain the swamp, and he became one of them. Again, it ate him up. And we should have known. I mean, we did know. I mean, because those of us who remembered Trump from before knew he was going to be a big spending Democrat. That's who he always was. It's just, of course, he's going to be that still, and he is. And so he's literally like a Clinton Democrat. That's he's fitting the mold. He's being right where he is, and he's certainly not a disruptor from the standpoint of anything significant. Obviously, he's spending trillions more dollars over and above what's being collected in taxes, which is, of course, raising the deficit more, which is going to create more inflation. And, he's going that direction. He claims to be deregulating things, but, it's not anything like on the scale that we need. Not anything like on the scale that we need to put Americans back to work. The two issues right now are they are stealing the money. They're stealing it two different ways. And number two, they are preventing Americans from working. America is absolutely hamstrung. And I'm going to show you a couple of images here. The difference between China and America. Look at this. Look, the money is so important. Let me tell you why the money is so important. Okay. The money right now is so important because of this. This is electricity and income per capita worldwide. And what you can see here is, as the graph says, there's no such thing as a low energy rich country. The more energy you have, it's literally power. It's literally power. Okay. And China, for all their faults and their demographic hideousness, is doing good with the power. Look at this. Look at this power generation in China. Let's see if I got this one right. Okay, come on. There it goes. Okay. Kilowatt hours in euros. Okay. China versus the EU. As you can see, China's costs are flat or just barely increasing. The EU's are increasing substantially. The only reason they're increasing at all is because of the inflation. The inflation is the real theft. I mean, the real theft. They are stealing the shit out of the money. And until people realize that, until there's some party that is willing to confront the Fed, we are just getting into a worse situation. But this power thing is really going to be a problem. Now, I keep harping on it because here, there's more. Change in electrical generation, last 12 months, okay, versus prior 12 months. This is China and the U.S. Look at this, terawatts. Look at how much China has added versus the U.S. China is crushing the additional capacity. Now, this is total solar, wind, nuclear, gas. You can see. And I don't believe this negative thing here for China for coal either, because China doesn't have to worry about regulation. All right. When they want to do something, they just do it. Look at this. Here's electricity demand per capita. You can see it's rising quickly. China trying to reach up to where we are. We do not want them any close to where we are. Obviously, they have 3 times our population. Even with the demographic collapse that's been foretold, they still have far too many people from the standpoint of if they were on par with us per capita in electricity generation, they would obviously have lots more power. And we don't want that because, man, I keep telling everybody the power is what is driving the AI and also construction. And with the deregulation in China, look at what you got here. In the United States, you want to build something, 20 years to build a bridge. In China, 9 hours to build a railway station. I believe this, okay? 28 hours to construct a 10-story apartment building. We saw that apartment building go up in no time. 16 years to build a tunnel, the Big Dig, I'm sure they're talking about. 10 days to build a hospital, mobile. We saw that one too. 3 years to build a 14 square meter public toilet. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. in the middle of Times Square. This is the difference in regulatory situation between the two countries is so huge that gives them a distinct advantage. So, trying to do shouldn't be doing this like this. All right. And yet, still, we have this situation now where people are mistaking socialism for prosperity. Look at this right here. Ron DeSantis, this is news here, MAGA news. Ron DeSantis talking about eliminating property taxes. And this guy is like, no. Let me see if I can get his name up here. Just for his own, I'm sure he wants to be known. A Roman helmet guy. Okay. He says, no. Don't do it. For the love of God, you're crushing the poor. He believes, and I saw another guy respond to him, and he liked it and said, 100% on it. And it was the other guy said, look, if you let them stop collecting property taxes, what'll happen is it'll solidify the rich people, okay, in their houses. This guy believes that the homeowners are rich people, and it would drain the local coffers from the local city governments, which in his mind provides all the benefit of society. Okay. That's what it really seems like is this guy. He believes that all the benefits that he sees from society come from the local government, and none of it come from, or so little of it come from homeowners that he's willing to throw them up under the bus. And this girl here, this other girl agrees. Let's see. We'll get her up there. She absolutely hates this, she says, but it's true. It's better and more important for society, for young people to be able to buy large homes than it is for older people to be able to keep the homes. And that's in response to this empty nester couple feeling pressure because of taxes. And this guy's saying, that's how it should work. You should be taxed out of your home when you're old so that young people can move in as if they can afford. How does he think that's going to help the young people afford the house? I mean, it's like our education system failed these people so utterly, so miserably. And here's another one. Now this is Billie Eilish. This is a famous person, okay? And she slams pathetic pussy bitch coward Musk for hoarding wealth. Does she really think that the wealth just sits in a vault somewhere? I mean, she has millions of dollars. Does she really think that her money is down at the bank? I mean, it seems like she does. It really does. It seems like she doesn't understand that all that money that the bank has is lent out on the basis of productivity. That is to say, the most productive use of the money gets lent to first, as decided by the bankers, who are, in our society, the people who have supposedly educated themselves to the highest degree to know where money should be allocated. And that's what happens to the money. And I mean, and somehow, she doesn't understand that. And let's see, there's another couple of comments by her here. Let's see, or somebody else just like her. Oh yeah, this is Jen. Can't you just fucking pay taxes, please? She really thinks Elon doesn't pay taxes. She bought that line, hook, line, and sinker. Meanwhile, the dude's paid guaranteed billions of dollars in taxes. Probably more than any individual ever. And Jen is like, hey man, could you just fucking pay some taxes? Of course, his response is probably lost on her. He's going to use some money to get humanity to Mars and preserve the light of consciousness. She's like, consciousness doesn't have a light. That's the only thing I can think of she's thinking. Let's see. I got Eilish in here talking about here we go. Here's the video of her talking on this subject, and you can hear for yourself how articulate.
Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys.
So, I mean, I'm going to say at least props to her for saying love you guys and for approaching it civilly. And she's making her suggestions. She really thinks that them giving away their money would be a good idea. She doesn't understand that these are the most productive people in society doing the most productive things with the money that can be done. And when they promote the market, when they promote businesses, all those businesses do, as every business does, is find customers who have needs and fulfill those needs. I mean, it doesn't get any more American than that. And yet her idea is if these guys would just give away their money, presumably to, like, I guess, governments and charities, who I guess those people are operating in her mind as just benevolent people. There's just a group of people who just want to do the right thing. It doesn't matter what they get paid. They're just going to do the right thing. And I guess that is her opinion because that's the only thing that makes sense from all of this. It's unbelievable, but true. So, all right. Well, let's see if I got anything else here on this particular subject. What's this one? Nope, same one there. Okay. So, this is interesting. If you want, I had last week, this is just for fun. I had last week a, or a couple weeks ago, there was a chair that had, where's my right there? a tank treads. And June, you liked it. I appreciate it. So look here. If you want to actually drive a tank, there's a place in America you can do it. In Orlando. Right near downtown Orlando, literally. Like a couple of miles from the I-4 meets the east-west. A couple of miles, there's a place called Tank America. You can go drive a tank. Now, you got to be 16 and 55 inches or something. But, and it's like an hour and a half excursion. I think you get to drive it over some shit. It looks pretty cool from outer space, too. So, just something fun there. Also, here's something fun. I meant to show this last week. I'm not sure if I did. Look at this. Andre the Giant. He's up here with, that's got to be Ludlow, the world's tallest man, 8'11". Because, I mean, he looks twice as tall as Andre there. And Andre's 7'6". So, it's kind of crazy. All right, here's a little video. Again, just for fun. This is a drone being shot down. Ukraine. Kablamo. And then this, I'm just going to bring up briefly, just because this introduces a couple of people who I follow every once in a while. So this girl, H. Pearl Davis, is kind of fun. She's like an anti-feminist, and she's always saying, she's always girl bashing, and it's just kind of fun. I mean, she runs a therapy thing, and she tries to be very practical, and it probably is, and it tries to help people get together. And then she asks this question: has therapy actually ever fixed anyone's problems? I'm presuming she's being rhetorical there, but Molyneux answers, and if you don't know who Molyneux is, he is the self-proclaimed best, world's greatest philosopher. But Molyneux, he knows his philosophy academically speaking, but from an experiential standpoint, he freely admits he's never experimented with any drugs at all. And I don't know how you could be a philosopher and not have delved into that part of the psyche. It's so revealing, philosophically speaking. But here he is. And he got a lot of trouble a few years back for talking about IQ, differences in IQ. People were like, that's racist. And they canceled the shit out of him for a long time. They canceled like his multi-million follower YouTube channel. But he's back now that people are being uncanceled, and especially for alleged racism, inferred racism. But anyway, it does. It works, and I was just kind of pointing it out and showing you those two people. All right. Let's see. Okay, now this is your creepy thing for the week. All right. This is an 11,000 square foot spider web with the apparent thickness of a blanket, basically. And what they said is the creepiest part about the whole thing is there's 110,000 spiders in there, but there were two different species, 69,000 of one, 42,000 of another. And usually these spiders don't live next door to each other. They eat each other, okay? So this is really weird. So they said it's either because there's an abundance of flies in the cave there, and so there's just plenty of food for both of them, or it's a sign of the apocalypse. It's one or the other. Spiders living together, and if they form a society, we are in trouble. All right, and then the final thing here. Oh, I got two final things. This is interesting. All right. This is, you may have heard of caning, which is what they do in Singapore for punishment. And, I've always thought that might be an effective form of punishment for certain low-level offenses, just because it it could make a difference. But then look at this. It seems, on the other hand, it seems inhumane, right? And you're always thinking, shit, it must hurt like fuck. It must be so bad. And then I see this video. All right, here's a guy caning. He's about to cane this dude. And I'm thinking he's going to hit him right in the freaking small of the back here. And just light this dude up. Right? Maybe in the legs. Right in the back of the legs. Just right in the back of the legs. Right? No, he hits the pad.
We will introduce mandatory caning for scammers.
The pad? The pad? Are you kidding me? That's what? Dude, how does that hurt? I mean, seriously, does that even hurt? Does the guy? I mean, that's caning? Fuck that, man. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. All right. And then finally, all right, I got this guy. This is just kind of funny. There's this guy, and he does a great Gavin Newsom impersonation. I'll play a couple seconds of it for you.
Governor Newsom, wildfires have destroyed millions of acres of the state, displaced countless amounts of family. Do you take responsibility for any of this, and is there anything more you think you could have done?
Not really. I think these fires were very devastating. I think the full scope of what actually has happened, we're not there yet. Okay, these people's houses are just destroyed. People are suffering. People are sad. But we're Californians.
Good work there from that comedian. All right. That's all I got for you today. Have a great